About a month ago, I did a video on a very good Fnaf VHS tape created by the talented Valox. If you haven't seen it, link down below in the description. But here we are once again, and the second episode to this series has released. In this video, I want to be breaking it down, finding hidden details and Easter eggs. So please go watch the original video, link in the description. Go support Valox, such a great creator. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's return to Freddy's. Before viewing the actual tape, let's look at the description. Like the previous VHS tapes, the description always provides vital lore to the video. Here in this one, it says the following. Recorded January 20th, 1986. Authorities are searching for answers in the sudden disappearance of 25-year-old Michael Schmidt, a newly hired night guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mike was last seen reporting for his first shift late Sunday night, but by morning, there was no sign of him, and his car remained in the parking lot. The restaurant's owner, William Afton, claims to have no knowledge of what might have happened, calling the disappearance an unfortunate mystery. No security footage from that night has been located. Local police are urging anyone with information to come forward, as they continue to search for clues. The tape begins and we see the date November 18th, 1985. Here in this clip, we see the Freddy Fazbear location fully operational. We see the adults and kids sitting at the table watching the animatronics perform. But not long, Bonnie starts to freak out and the show is stopped by the announcer over the speaker claiming that they are experiencing technical difficulties. It cuts to black. The actual tape now begins and we see the date January 19th, 1986. 2 months after the first clip, we zoom in on a newspaper with jobs wanted, and the one circled by our main character Mike is a security position at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. We then are now inside of Mike's car. Might I say, this shot here looks so realistic. Great animation here. We then cut to the inside of the mall. As Mike talks to the camera to summarize what he says, he begins to talk about why he's recording in the first place. He says he's recording so that he can film the animatronics since the company sees them as a liability, just in case the animatronics escape the pizzeria and start destroying the rest of the mall. He also questions why the animatronics are still up and running at these hours. He quickly makes his way inside the pizzeria. Now in the pizzeria, he takes a small look around before wasting no time and going straight for the security office, where he receives a phone recording from the previous night guard, but Mike, not really paying attention to it, goes to look around the office. He then walks over to flip the switch for the doors where he gets jump scared, like, come on, relax buddy. He sets down the camera and looks at the monitor. As the call goes on, it cuts to black, and about an hour goes by and Mike decides to take a nap. Even more time goes by and the security guard once again calls, and while meanwhile Mike is sleeping, we hear her explain how it is very important to save power and to remember that the animatronics move around that night. But so far, Mike hasn't run into any problems until we cut to the camera feed, and on channel 5 we see the animatronics on stage. Things are looking normal until the camera starts to get a little freaky and Chica slowly begins to turn her head to the camera. It then fully cuts to static and Chica is now gone. All the meanwhile, the security guard is speaking on the phone and sounding less and less passionate. She ends the call, wishing Mike good luck, and it cuts to black. Time now being 5:49 a.m. Mike finally wakes up after sleeping through most of his shift. We hear the laugh of Golden Freddy. That's what woke up Mike, his power now running low. He doesn't even realize this. He picks up the camera and begins shouting at what he thinks are intruders. He checks the camera to see both Chica and Bonnie gone from the stage. He leaves the office to investigate further. He walks into the main area of the pizzeria and is startled by the carousel. It turns on and begins to play music. He hears rummaging and looks at Chica, who is walking very slowly towards him. She then starts to run at him. But real quick, the way Mike yells at Chica here is very funny. He calls her stupid, and just the way the scene plays out is funny to me. Anyway, he begins to run back to the office. Running past Bonnie, who's speaking from the bathroom, Mike makes it to the office unharmed. Closing the door, he's safe until the power goes out and the door begins to open very slowly. Expecting to see either Chica or Bonnie on the other side, it's in fact Freddy, who then starts to play his famous tune. The way he opens his mouth and uses his eyes to be in sync with the song is so cool. As Freddy is playing the song, Mike takes the opportunity to open the vent and crawls through. As he's crawling, we see Foxy, who makes the Fnaf jumpscare sound. Mike keeps going through the vents. He frantically claws through them. He reaches an opening, but decides to keep going. He reaches another area of the vents and kicks open the seal. Back into the main area of the pizzeria, now Mike, in a state of panic, is making sure he isn't spotted by Freddy and the gang. He goes to the back exit, but the door is locked. Freddy, who's not too far behind them, Mike makes his way into the staff-only room. Mike looks around to see all of the heads of the animatronics and endoskeletons, but before fully taking it all in, Bonnie is standing in the corner. He grabs Mike, and Bonnie's words, he gets him ready for the show. We see Bonnie forcefully stuffing Mike into a suit. We hear Mike's bones and organs get crushed by the suit, and Mike dies due to his injuries. We then see a Freddy suit with Mike's dead body and the eyes sticking out of it, a reference to the Fnaf 1 death screen. We then see the clock. It hits 6 a.m. and Mike's shift is over forever. We cut to black and see the marionette who is hanging by a rope. Words begin to appear on screen, reading the following. It's poetic, don't you think? The man who shoved his brother into the mouth of an animatronic, entrapped in one of his own. Do you believe it's okay to kill a bad person? Did the man in purple consider us bad? The yellow rabbit is his father. Did you know that? It's not the act of killing that haunts you. It's knowing they'll never stay dead. But is it really him just because of a name? I cannot remember his face anymore. Charlie, stop this right now. You knew it wasn't him. You're just hurting people because you're angry. You were peaceful, now you're blinded by hatred. Is that why you brought us back? Is that why you trapped us in these suits to bear the same pain as you? It's been so long, I just want it to end. And with these words, the tape ends. Let's run through the small details and Easter eggs I found in this tape, the first being in the beginning with the newspaper. As we know in the FNAF games, this is typically how it starts. We read an answer to the ads in the paper. Also, the picture used here was the same one from the actual FNAF movie, adding just a tad bit more realism. The laugh heard when Mike wakes up is the laugh of Golden Freddy, also present in the original FNAF 1 game. When Mike is crawling to the vents and Foxy screams, it's the full soundbite jump scare from FNAF 1. After Mike runs into the staff-only room for a short while, we see the head of Withered Freddy, the only reference to the weirded animatronics. Pretty cool. Before Bonnie runs at the camera, we can actually see the suit that Mike will eventually be stuffed inside of, laying in the corner slouched over. Like I mentioned earlier, the shot of Mike inside the Freddy suit is a reference to the FNAF 1 death screen, even with the eye popping out of the head. Also, the breathing here is actually either Bonnie or Chica from FNAF 1. I couldn't pick one since they sound so similar. Finally, perhaps one of the biggest mysteries is who is speaking at the end. I believe that the color of the words correlate to the speaker. For the white words, it's the marionette speaking. As for the blue words, it's Bonnie. For the yellow, it's Chica. Now, as for when it cuts to being distorted, I believe that the one talking to the marionette is all the other animatronics. The reason for this is because they refer to themselves as us. As we know in the previous VHS tape, the marionette was giving life to the rest of the crew. Those are the details that I found in this one. I also want to give you all a quick review. I think that this tape was really well done. The animation, the voice acting, and once again, the concept of having a Freddy's in a mall is so cool. I enjoyed this one, and I am really looking forward to part 3. Once again, please go check out the original video, link in the description. Also, I want to say thank you for the huge support on the channel and in my recent videos. Thank you all so very much. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and peace out.